recently by the war in Ukraine and the spike in global prices. In this complex environment, improving global food and nutrition security remains a key objective to achieving a more stable, equitable world and meet the Sustainable Development Goals. The numbers are striking. 1/3 of the global population currently experiences at least one form of malnutrition. 1/3, that's a lot. And malnutrition in all its forms is responsible for nearly half the deaths among young children. It only constitutes one of the greatest global obstacles to equitable economic and social development, with more than 9% of gross domestic product lost every year in Africa and Asia. So nutrition is essential for any society's resilience, and everyone deserves access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food. Uganda's government has shown a strong commitment to improve the nutrition situation in the country. Uganda was one of the first countries to commit to the Scaling Up Nutrition movement in 2011, and it has achieved a steady decline in the prevalence of stunting since the 90s. Unfortunately, challenges still remain, and more needs to be done. The causes of food insecurity in Uganda are multifaceted, often a result of poverty, landlessness, high fertility rates, natural disasters, high food prices, and a lack of education. And in this context, knowledge-based policies become crucial, and they require a strong partnership between all stakeholders involved. And this is exactly what is at the core of the Uganda Nutrition Action Plan that was mentioned earlier by the previous speakers. And it's also the objective of the National Information Platform for Nutrition, the NIPN, for which we are launching today the second phase. Because this initiative of the European Commission aims to provide support to countries to strengthen their information systems for nutrition and to improve the analysis of data so as to better inform strategic decisions to prevent malnutrition and its consequences. It's about knowledge-based policies. As I mentioned, it has allowed countries to make significant progress in setting up or improving existing multi-sectoral data repositories. For example, here in Uganda, it has supported improving public access to nutrition data portals, developing the nutrition dashboard, we just saw the presentation, to track progress on key multi-sectoral indicators. A key area of focus for the EU's continuous commitment to prevent malnutrition will be the continued support to this initiative, to collect reliable and relevant data from across the country for analysis, to contribute to dialogue and positive change in nutrition policies and strategies across sectors. The NIPN approach is based on evidence and understanding of the importance of nutrition-sensitive investments that aim to tackle malnutrition as a multi-sectoral national concern. And that's how NIPN is innovative. On the policy side, it seeks to engage with policymakers in a process of dialogue and exchange to create a common understanding of the challenges and the priorities regarding malnutrition. And on the technical level, it is designed to create bridges across sectors, ministries, stakeholders that do not always speak the same technical language, and where data flows are only to a limited extent. So the aspect that has been highlighted previously by the speakers of bringing really all the stakeholders together and working across sectors is at the heart of this initiative. It's also important to highlight, I think, that this national information platform is rooted within existing institutions and national coordination systems, meaning we are not creating a parallel or additional structure. We are using and building on the existing coordination systems already in place. This initiative is not an isolated initiative. The EU has made significant nutrition-sensitive investments in Uganda over the past years. A few examples: the Development Initiative for Northern Uganda, DINO, which is also coordinated under the Office of the Prime Minister, our humanitarian aid, and the refugee response, a number of agricultural investments, to mention only a few. Because in order to succeed in the fight against malnutrition, we need to be complementary and we need to join forces, government, civil society, private sector, and development partners alike. We need to engage with each other to increase our understanding of the challenges and to ensure that food security and nutrition policies and decisions are aimed at reducing the inequality gap and are inclusive of the people living in the most vulnerable situations, leaving no one behind. So let me end here and thank the organizers of this event. I wish to thank you for giving me the opportunity to address this audience, and I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Head of Cooperation at the delegation of the European Union in Uganda. I can also say that, like Oliver Twist, we thank you very much for your contributions, but we still ask for more. Thank you so much. Allow me, Right Honorable Prime Minister, to now invite Dr. Munir Safaruddin, the head of UNICEF in Uganda. Thank you very much for the support that you give us. Come and share with us part of the journey that we have shared in NIPN, but also perhaps a little bit more that you have done. Thank you so much.
Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, Ms. Caroline, the head of the technical cooperation at the EU, senior representatives of government ministries, departments, agencies, representatives of different development partners, representatives of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure for me, representing UNICEF, to join all of you today for this important launching the National Information Platform for Nutrition. Many people believe that nutrition is the business of individual human beings. This is completely wrong. Nutrition is an important development component. It's the business of everyone, and mainly it's the business of all governments that care for the well-being of their people. And I'm very happy to see that once again we are meeting here today to celebrate one more great initiative that shows the commitment of the government of Uganda to the well-being of its people, especially women and children, and all those who are vulnerable. Let me emphasize why this initiative, the National Information Platform on Nutrition, is important. And let me emphasize why investing in nutrition is investing in the National Development Plan of Uganda. The National Nutrition Action Plan for Women and Nutrition of Uganda tells us that every year 4% of the GDP of Uganda is lost due to low labor productivity. Low labor productivity mainly due to malnutrition and illnesses related to malnutrition is significantly reducing the potential for the GDP. Labor productivity is low, the GDP losses are equivalent to 3%. So investing in nutrition means gaining the 3% loss of the GDP. Nutrition is not the business of individuals. Nutrition is everyone's business. Nutrition is at the center of achieving the National Development Plan of Uganda. Let me also share another piece of information that comes from the Government Nutrition Action Plan as well, that the Nutrition Action Plan of Uganda estimates that between 2013 and 2025, childhood stunting alone childhood stunting alone could result in as much as 19 trillion shillings worth of losses in economic productivity. Can you imagine? Stunting, child stunting. It's not the business of children, it's not the business of their parents. It's contributing to an estimated 19 trillion shillings loss of economic productivity in Uganda. So when we meet today to launch the National Information Platform for Nutrition, we are making the right decisions. We are making the right investments to save these losses that Uganda's GDP is experiencing. In the coming years, I'm worried, UNICEF is worried, that nutrition-related crises will become more frequent and severe, and natural disaster, pandemics, and climate change would increase food insecurity around the world. We have already seen this is happening in the Horn of Africa. We are already seeing signs of today in parts of Uganda, we are experiencing severe droughts which are creating food insecurity and malnutrition. I'm talking specifically about some parts of Karamoja, which are affected by the global climate change, which is currently hitting the entire Horn of Africa. The situation in Karamoja is one reason why the National Information Platform for Nutrition is so essential to Uganda. This platform will provide the government with high-quality, real-time data that will help policymakers anticipate nutrition-related crises in vulnerable parts of the country and monitor conditions to ensure they don't get worse. When we think about what needs to happen to improve nutrition for children, we often don't think about data. But data is the foundation of any successful intervention that the government can make to support the health and well-being of its people. If you cannot identify trends, you won't be able to act until it is too late. It is for this reason that I am so honored to be here for the launch of this ambitious initiative. I want to express UNICEF's deep appreciation to the Office of the Prime Minister, which is the NIPN Secretariat, and will convene partners across government to implement this platform. Thank you for hosting this important launch, which will bring attention to the centrality of nutrition for Uganda's growth and development. I also wish to thank the EU for their great support. The EU has continuously shown great support for different development initiatives that have direct impact on the well-being of children and women. We appreciate that. The very collaborative approach that has been used to bring us this far for the launch of the National Information Platform for Nutrition is much appreciated. I want to specifically appreciate all those who has been leading this initiative, who have brought us together to this event for the launch. Specifically, I want to appreciate the Secretariat of this initiative in the Office of the Prime Minister, and I want to appreciate the effort of the UBS. And I would like to thank and congratulate all who have contributed to this great initiative. Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, and thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, I have noted something in the room, that there is a bit of scarcity of hand clapping. Can I request kindly that you join me to end that scarcity? Thank you very much. Right Honorable Prime Minister, I would like to inform you that one of the strongest and closest partners in developing this, but also the National Action Plan for Nutrition that I just talked about a little earlier and that we are waiting to come and then launch even in a bigger way, is the National Planning Authority. The National Planning Authority is the chair, and the others are right here. So may I request you, Professor Pamela. Thank you very much. Right Honorable Prime Minister, also allow me a second to take bragging rights, because my dad and Pamela's dad, we grew up together, they were working for the church. So in that capacity, she's my sister. Professor Pamela and your team, we are very, very grateful. I would also like to recognize the presence, but also active participation of the chair of the Parliamentary Alliance for Nutrition and Food Security, Honorable Milton. Honorable Milton Muamu, thank you very much, Muma, for being here. Right Honorable Prime Minister, I can tell you that even this morning, unaware that we are going to have this launch, we had a meeting with the Honorable, again about driving the nutrition agenda in this country. Thank you for the commitment and the Parliamentary Alliance. I'd like to take pleasure in introducing my senior but dear friend, the Honorable Hamson Obua Dennis, and he's representing the Ministry for Education and Sports. Thank you very much. We have discussed previously about sports and nutrition and education. I would like us to continue this discussion, Honorable Obua, and keep your doors open for all of us. I'd like again to say, this morning, the Right Honorable Prime Minister challenged all of us. We gave her an invitation for 8:30. 8:30, she walked through the doors and sat alone. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we look forward to your remarks. Thank you very much for being a practical teacher and giving us a very action-oriented lesson. And we take it with humility and we welcome it. Thank you so much. We now await your remarks and launching of this, and then we shall sign this to commemorate the launching. Thank you.
My sister, Professor Mbabazi, National Planning Authority, the EU Head of Mission in Uganda, the Honorable Member of Parliament, members of the Nutrition Development Partners Group, representatives of the local governments, representatives of the private sector, representatives of the civil society organizations, and representatives of the academia, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you all to the launch of the second phase of the Nutrition Information Platform for Nutrition project. Ladies and gentlemen, addressing the issues of nutrition and malnutrition are critical matters for this country. As we work towards ending hunger, achieving food security, and promoting sustainable agriculture, we need to take these matters seriously. Only a few weeks ago, we were meeting partners to find solutions, like my brother has already told you, in the areas of Teso and other parts of the country. As you are aware, we cannot talk about nutrition without talking about food. And we cannot talk about food without talking about agriculture, especially in this country. I'm happy
that the project was started to strengthen our capacity to analyze nutrition information and data, to inform policy and program development, planning and implementation. The issue of credible data is very important, not only just for nutrition, but for a number of other programs we are undertaking in this country. You may be aware of how we struggled. I want you to remember, Professor Pamela, remember how we struggled to get credible information when we were giving out support on relief. Do you remember the cash relief, the Nabanja, during the lockdown? We are now in the process of rolling out the parish government model, and again, data is very important and critical. Do you remember that time when we were struggling to get data of the vulnerable people in the country? The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, that is UBOS, needs to improve in this area of collecting relevant data to inform better decision making. Some good work has been done in the first phase of this project, but it was certainly not enough. The gaps that were identified in that phase should be addressed, not spill into this phase 2. More importantly, we would like to see this project coming out with policy advice and briefs to enable government and partners make decisions on nutritional issues. I would like also to see greater visibility of the achievements in this project. The public must know what you are doing or what we are doing. Finally, I thank the European Union for funding this initiative. Thank you so much. As a country, we are indeed grateful and proud to have been selected as one of the beneficiary countries. I want to implore all stakeholders in this room to ensure that we work together to achieve the results prioritized during this phase. My office, together with all government MDAs, will continue to coordinate the implementation of the project to ensure that we deliver the desired results. I want now to take this singular honor. I'm about to launch. May I? Okay, it is now my pleasure to officially launch the second phase of the National Information Platform for Nutrition in this country. For God and my country.
So in commemoration of this launch, we are going to sign this. Professor Mbabazi, Honorable Bua, Minister Kabiyu, please join us here. Honorable Milton, please join us for this signing ceremony. A big round of applause for the launch. Thank you so much, the Right Honourable Prime Minister. I can see even the UNICEF representative is on his knees for this. Thank you so much. Yeah. Right, Honorable Prime Minister, as you go out, you go with the delegates that are around you and the representatives of the ministries that are here and a few local governments to go and take a group photo outside with you. Yeah. Thank you so much. So what we can go with. Dear colleagues, there is a refreshment that was prepared for us. We can have the refreshment right now. It's on the corner. Oh. Yes. Yeah, and for those of us who may not have registered when we came in, let's go and register. There is a fresh registration process, and please, let's have the refreshment before we go. On behalf of the Office of the Prime Minister and all the partners, I would like to thank you very profusely for making time to come. Thank you so much, and we are looking forward to all the support towards implementation of this dashboard. Thank you so much.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.